this is my new friend Tamara Ryan. She's the CEO of the Women's Bean Project and a chair member of the Social Enterprise Alliance. So would you like to tell us a little bit about what you're doing?
Love to.
Yeah.
So Women's Bean Project is a social enterprise. We employ women who've been chronically unemployed and impoverished, but we employ them in a manufacturing business, and we sell those products all over the country. And we are a really great example of a social enterprise. And we're a member of Social Enterprise Alliance, and we're lucky enough in September to be hosting the national conference here in Denver. So we're bringing social enterprises from all over the country to Denver to show off what an awesome city it is, but also to for these social enterprises to have an opportunity to learn from each other, and then the community to see the field of social enterprise.
Cool, yeah. And how can the community get involved with something like the Social Enterprise Alliance?
Well, this opportunity is September 16th through 18th, and we will have a lot of different events around the summit. There is the conference itself, which happens at the Embassy Suites, but then I think the best thing for the community to get involved with is the marketplace, which happens on September 17th from 4 to 6 p.m. And anybody from the community can go to that marketplace. And it's all social enterprises that are local, so organizations with the mission that sell a product.
Cool. And can you tell us a little bit about some of the organizations that might be there?
Sure. So one organization that you might be familiar with is one called Work Options for Women, and they do culinary training for women within a 16-week program, and they have a cafe called Cafe Options, and another one called Cafe United that's in the United Way building, so they'll be there. And a really cool organization that is relatively new to Denver but started in Colorado Springs is called Blue Star Recyclers, and they take computers and other electronics, and they employ people with autism to disassemble those electronics, and then they sell the parts to generate their revenue.
Awesome. And what kind of workshops or things are going to be happening at the SEA event in September?
Well, there are leaders from all over the country who are coming to talk about things like social investment capital. There's starting to be some really cool things happening in the investing world that can go towards social enterprise. There will be people who run social enterprises from all over the country who will be speaking about their model. It's really the best thing about it is if you even have a little bit of interest about organizations or companies that with a mission that sell products or services to support a mission, it's a really great way to see all the different creative ways that gets done.
And why get involved with the Social Enterprise Alliance?
I think that we're at a time in the world where we have an opportunity to use the market to create social good. So, and I think many of us are interested in doing things like buying Tom's shoes, where you know if you buy a pair of shoes, then you buy one, give one. Or buying product from a company like Women's Bean Project, where you know that there's a woman whose life is being changed that's behind that product. And I think many of us are becoming much more aware of what our purchases mean and what the potential is behind our purchases. And that's the reason I think that we're already caring, and here's an opportunity to learn more.
Awesome. And can you tell me a little bit more about just the Denver chapter, like when you guys meet, what you guys do during the year?
Well, one of the reasons we wanted to host a national conference was as an opportunity to bring all of us together around a purpose and really catapult our chapter. So we have about 40 members right now of our chapter, which is growing rapidly as people are registering for the conference. And we do tours of other social enterprises. We meet to talk about best practices. We meet to hear more about what's happening in our field. And then you get great opportunities to go to things like national conferences and see what's happening really around the world in the field of social enterprise.
And how would somebody find this information? To your website or?
So the Social Enterprise Alliance website is se-alliance.org, but the summit, which is the national conference specifically, is summit15.org. And so that's the way to find information about the summit. And I think when people check that out, they'll be really impressed with the caliber of speakers that are going to be coming.
Great. And one last time before we show your video that you guys brought today, tell us when again and where this summit will be.
Okay. So the summit is happening September 16th through 18th, so just 5.5 weeks away. And it's at the Embassy Suites that's downtown right by the convention center. And we'll have some events also at the Sewell Ballroom at the DCPA. And then the marketplace is actually at the Ellie Calkins Opera House.
Awesome. Thank you for coming today. And do you want to intro your video before we play it?
I think it will speak for itself.
All right. Thank you very much.
For Summit 14, we chose the theme of connecting for purpose. Summit 14 is really all about connecting for the purpose of creating the impact that the world needs for us.
How all of us want meaningful work and to feel like we have depth and feel like it means something for us to be here and we're changing the world in some ways. That's why we're social entrepreneurs. And that's why we come together for this.
Let's put love into this and let's do this from the heart. And the thing about love is it allows us to tap into infinite possibilities.
Diversity is a result. Inclusion is the process. Diversity and inclusion done right can be incredible for your organizations.
When you look for solutions to social problems, ask for the what, not for the how. So often people say, this is the way you have to do this social good. If you say instead, how can you deliver this social good? You create an entirely new opportunity for people to invent new ideas.
You are all wave makers. And we went and identified a whole variety of kind of different categories of wave makers who are closing the gap between kind of what government can provide and what citizens are demanding. Because our problems are not going away and citizen demands are actually getting greater and greater. But within the last 10, 15 years alone, we've seen a whole cadre of these new problem solvers who are closing this gap.
You are the most powerful advocates. You should be in front of your representatives, your senators. You should be banging on the doors and saying, you know, you need to recognize us as an important part of the economy. This is the future economy that you're talking about here, and you need to get ahead of the curve.
Those who say it cannot be done should not interrupt the people doing it. I want to thank you all for doing it in an economy and in a business environment where it can't be done.